Hello, everybody. Good morning. I'm coming to y'all with this Donald Trump information. I just been going through and trying to gain a better understanding as what's going on with Donald Trump. Is he trying to start another riot? Um, and it seems that he is. But first, I want to listen at this clip, and then I'm gonna come back and add my input. Donald Trump and Stormy Daniels. It's a hot mess.
DA Bragg. DA Bragg is leading a busy probe that, as the New York Times reports, they said it's on a, quote, likely path for includes an offer for Trump to face a grand jury. That news broke like a bomb going off for many. Stormy Daniels, who was paid by Trump and was at the center of the now convicted campaign crime that involved former Trump lawyer Michael Cohen, who testified this week. So that's a lot of what's been going on. The payment to Daniels could be central here. We know it was already charged once by the feds. Veterans of the DA office say it was under review, meaning even previously, over the last few years, it was being kicked around there. The New York Times, as I mentioned, reports it's back in the mix now. And then Trump's own lawyer, Joe Tacopina, is clearly focused on defending the payment's legality in an interview right here with me this week. It's a sign that Trump's team also views the payment as at least a potential issue for any charges. Tacopina insisting, in his view, that the payment was both legal, even if it wasn't really a payment for a lawyer, in fact, and he insisted and argued it was not, in his view, linked to any campaign objective. Is Stormy Daniels a lawyer?
Is Stormy Daniels a lawyer?
Yeah.
I don't think she's a lawyer. I don't think a lawyer was a lawyer either, but Stormy Daniels is not a lawyer.
That matters because, as you saw on the screen, and I'm going to get into this, if you say something's for a lawyer or legal expenses and it's not, well, you already have a lie right there. Now, that's all out there. There could also, however, be new signs that Trump would face legal problems even if the New York DA never charges the payment as a type of campaign finance crime, which brings us to this report right now. So I'm going to get into this with you. There's a legal argument that the payment was lawful, and then Trump broke the law by lying about it. So just think about it like this. You can pay money to buy a house. That's obviously legal. If you then lie to the IRS and your state government about it, about the money you spend or the money coming back to you, you're now breaking the law. Right there, just off that. Payment legal, lying about it, illegal, separately. The original purchase is legal. Now, there's a connection here to Michael Cohen's conviction, which has clues. And this has come up a little bit, but right now we're going to do it in a little more detail so you can see what the case would be and make your own judgments, because this is part of what Mr. Tacopina and I were discussing, but at a bit of a higher altitude. So let's get into it. The feds have the receipts that Trump's company literally posted that Daniels payment as legal expenses. They say the accounting for Daniels payment as legal expenses was done when Cohen submitted an invoice which was not in connection with any legal services. Just a lie. It's pretty cut and dry. It's in writing, hiding that money by falsely claiming it was money for a lawyer. Now, unlike some other business practices where Trump has claimed he wasn't in the loop, here, what's also legally different is tapes showing that Trump personally worked on these solutions, if you want to call it that, and what the DA might ultimately call lies or misleading crimes, because he worked with a tabloid and Mr. Cohen to suppress accounts of more than one woman over time. Now, Trump's CFO would not testify against him in that other case. I'm going to get back to that. But Cohen's not exactly alone either right now. There's another Trump campaign advisor, a political operative and lawyer named A.J. Delgado. And she is posting a new criticism and allegation about the misuse of these kinds of legal fees. She says that misuse is what Trump world does. Quote, it's been going on for years. They'll pay someone off or settle with someone and to not admit they settled, disguise the payment as legal services. She points to what, in her opinion, she argues is a suspicious payment, recent one actually, that is only public because of the disclosure laws. It shows a Trump Political Action Committee sent a huge sum, over $2 million, for supposed or asserted legal consulting to a New York law firm, Kasowitz, Benson, Torres. Now, that actually would be a giant sum of money for a PAC to pay in short order, in a short amount of time, for legal fees in New York. Delgado is asking publicly whether it is hiding more in this manner. Now, today, we checked with that law firm for any comment. We did not hear back. If they comment or deny, we will, of course, report that. And Delgado's not offering other specifics or evidence. It might very well be a payment for really high-priced lawyers and no other hidden item. But Trump's longtime CFO, Alan Weisselberg, was accused of things even worse than that, pleading guilty to 15 felony charges, fraud. This is all a type of fraud if you get caught doing it, conspiracy, grand larceny. The Trump org also recently convicted for crimes about lying to authorities. You hear the pattern? 17 counts, tax fraud, scheming to defraud, conspiracy. This conviction is recent. It was won by the very DA leading this current case in New York. So you have a lot of evidence of lying and fraud that could build a case, even if you don't go down that campaign finance lane. So I've got an expert, as promised, here to go through this, along with Professor Murray, who I told you is standing by. But let me try to sum it up like this, as fairly as possible. A little bit of Tevye, if anyone remembers Fiddler on the Roof. More than one hand. On one hand, there are real questions about whether after all this, and I mean the last 6 years plus, or as far as the Trump IRS case is concerned, the last 20 years, if after all this, the first charge against a former president is going to involve misdemeanors, accounting, and what critics call paperwork offenses, that's what we get? You could see reasonable, objective, factual people saying, I don't know if after all this, that's where you start, if that's enough. That's the one hand. Now, for any Fiddler fans out there, there's the other hand. On the other hand, this is our justice system, and boy, has it been tested through all this. And our justice system has a duty to avoid being dragged down into an unjust and immoral set of arguments that very real crimes, which regular people, non-politically connected people, not rich people, go get in trouble for, that those real crimes are somehow too small to deal with right now when there are real victims, real lies, and I will remind you, as mentioned in this report, a now convicted criminal enterprise and convicted CFO, but somehow, after all that, the actual owner and chief of that company is still operating basically with impunity? Now, if there's no evidence, again, that's got to be the end of it. Doesn't matter what you think of Mr. Trump's leadership or political record. There's not enough evidence, that's the end of it. But if there is evidence amidst these three other convictions in this area of repetitive, blatant fraud, Cohen, Weisselberg, and the Trump org, which I may remind you was convicted here in America recently, if there's all that, and acting on the evidence is not going to be done because of the risk, you have to ask yourself, what the heck is going on in New York or America? Because the risk, if there's evidence, would be a failure to act for reasons that aren't about evidence or justice.
Okay, well, I'm back. Basically, I think what he is saying is that if they find evidence of Trump lying, it can be considered as a crime because he lied about it instead of just telling the truth. So my thing is Donald Trump above the law? And the reason I say that is because um, another incident Donald Trump was in where he's facing charges in the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol, where he told his supporters to go to the Capitol. And they were violent, and it was a riot. And Trump escalated it to, I think he caused the people to go there and fight, listening to Trump. So you got a lot of people that went to jail behind that January 6th attack because they had no right to break into the Capitol. Uh, 5 people died from the January 6th attack, and more than 100 police officers were injured. So they were fighting the police. They blamed this on Trump because he the one told them to go there and start a riot, and that's what they did. While he sat back and watched, and that was because he did not want President Joe Biden to be president. So he wanted them to change everything from the election votes so that he could be president again. So let's get back on this case. Trump warned of potential death and destruction if he's charged in hush money probe. So he has escalated. Former President Donald Trump allegedly has escalated a riot, saying if the Manhattan District Attorney probe into a hush money payment made in 2016 campaign won in overnight protests, he is potentially death and destruction if he is charged in this case. So he's telling the DA, if you charge me, I'm going to get my supporters to come here and start another riot. That's not right. Uh, and so after telling him that, Donald Trump mailed him allegedly white powder substance, trying to scare him into dropping this case. So my thing is, are they going to go ahead and press charges against Trump, or is Donald Trump above the law? So I would love to hear your thoughts about that. Uh, Last weekend, Trump leaked indictments that he would be arrested in the investigation and called for his supporters to protest, take our nation back. Since he was using social media, he was doing an attack on Manhattan District Attorney Alvin, called for him to be removed, and post and claim without evidence that the pro is politically motivated. Trump is asking for him to be removed because he don't want to be indicted. But it's up to the grand jury to indict Trump, and I think now they are keeping their names anonymous because of Trump going after people. If Michael Cohen, who was former Trump attorney, he went to prison for this. He went and served his time because he lied as well. They could not prosecute Trump at the time that Michael Cohen went to jail, his former attorney, because Trump was in office. But once Trump got out of office, they could prosecute him now for anything. And so now they're going after Trump because he is out of office. And they're saying you're a citizen just like all the other citizens out here. But now he is going, I think Trump is going a little bit too far. The district attorney investigated Cohen claims that Trump directly paid him to pay the adult film star Stormy Daniels $130,000 to buy her silence and allegedly the affair with Trump, when the former president has repeatedly denied. So he keeps denying that he didn't have an affair with her, but she's saying, yes, you did. And the reason it looks guilty because he paid $130,000, even though he sent it through his attorney, Michael Cohen. He sent it through him to pay her off. That was when he was going into office. So he was trying to cover it up, but it still came out that he was messing with an adult, I say a prostitute, allegedly. The Republican lawmakers are asking, they are calling for Briggs, who is the district attorney, to come in and testify before Congress. So hopefully that will. And since last Friday, Jim Jones, the Republican of Ohio, a Mayor Trump allies, said that he hadn't even seen the post that Trump had posted. Trump did a post of death and destruction. So he wants to cause harm to the district attorney that's over his case. House Representative Keith McCray, he's a Republican, close friend of Trump, said Sunday people should not protest if Trump is indicted. Nobody should harm one another. We want calmness out there, McCray told the reporters. So he's asking for people not to come up there and protest, to remain calm if Trump is arrested. And I can agree with that because they are definitely ready. They're not going to let what happened on the 6th happen again. And so my thing is, why go up there and you get in trouble and you have to pay your own legal fees because Trump is not going to pay it? Why are you fighting for Trump for something that Trump did? He's not going to get you out of trouble. You're going to be going to jail for a crime. And it doesn't make any sense. Why are you going to jail for Trump? because he's not going to help you get out of trouble. He ain't paying no legal fees. Ain't nothing he can do once you get in trouble trying to help him. So I say the safest thing, knowing that if you got a family, stay home. Do not go up there with that mess that they are doing. You should not be up there trying to ride because Trump went to jail. If Trump go to jail, he go to jail because of something he did wrong. Um, he wasn't arrested last week. He could definitely be indicted this week. And we're all trying to pay attention to that. I don't know what they're going to do about him sending the district attorney white substance, which it wasn't harmful, but it's just the fact that you sent it to him and you say you would assassinate him if he is found guilty. So you're making threats. On Friday, the FBI and the NYPD were investigating a death threat sent to Braggs that was accompanied by a small amount of white powder, law enforcement sources told NBC News. Former Trump attorney Michael Cohen has come out as a witness against his ex-boss Trump in the DA investigation. Cohen claims that Trump did pay him for the film star Stormy Daniels the 130. I don't think it's right that he would do that. You're sending out threats, bomb threats against citizens. It's like it's a war zone. What we doing? Fighting against our own country? This is crazy. To me, it is. The New York Post, they criticized Donald Trump for doing a media death threat and destruction if indicted in relations to hush money paid out to Stormy Daniels. And so I guess we're going to see what happens this week coming up. Because if they don't indict him, you're sitting here thinking, well, you're afraid because he made a threat against you. So an indictment is not the same as an arrest. It's a formal charge of a crime, while arrest is when a person is taken into custody. An arrest for Trump is not likely, multiple experts told USA Today. So I guess they're saying that they could indict him, because they said it's not the same as an arrest, but they're saying that multiple experts feel like he won't be indicted. He won't be arrested. And Donald Trump started the rumor about him getting arrested. But if he is indicted, Donald Trump would be the first current or former president to be criminally charged. This is a law enforcement agency and the Manhattan District Attorney Office will meet next week and discuss how to handle potential indictment against former President Trump, including whether or not he should be handcuffed according to a report. It is believed that Trump, 76 years old, I'm assuming, would need to be fingerprinted and processed like like every other defendant should be indicted. But Secret Service would take the lead in what they will allow or will not allow, including the what is this decision on whether to handcuff Trump or not. And this is what was told to Fox News on Friday. And that is if he is indicted. Wow, Donald Trump is messing with law enforcement and Secret Service. When you start messing with the district attorney. So how do y'all feel about that? I think it's going way too far. When you're threatening the district attorney, you talking about some serious time. I mean, because they're government officials. Now you got the Secret Service and the DA. I guess they're working together. They would decide on how and when he would get into the building if he's arrested. But I guess Donald Trump feel like if they're gonna arrest him, he want to tear up the city. He want to ride. He want people to come and protest and ride because he's going to jail if he's indicted. And like I said before, don't go getting in no trouble behind Donald Trump, because if you are in trouble, he's not going to get you out of jail. He's not going to pay your legal fees. Is it worth it? No, it's not worth it. I don't think Donald Trump is above the law. I think Donald Trump scare a lot of people if they don't do what he say do. And if you're intimidated by Donald Trump, then you're gonna do what he say do. And I've seen a lot of people do what he say do because they are intimidated by Donald Trump. So he does have a way of intimidating citizens, even everybody in his own group. So I'm gonna leave it there for now. I guess we'll see next week if Donald Trump is arrested. And we'll see. Is he above the law or is he not? I would like to hear your comments on, do you think he's above the law? Or do you think he should be charged if he committed a crime? Should he be like any other citizen out here and face charges or face whatever is done to him? Because you got citizens out here that go to jail every day where they have committed a crime. So if Donald Trump has committed all these crimes, do you think he should go to jail? Or do you think he should get a pass? Meaning, is he above the law? That he can't be indicted, that he can't go to jail. So he's out here committing all these different crimes, and to send a substance to the district attorney office saying you was going to assassinate him. And then on one hand, he got a bat, like he going to hit it with a bat. So that first picture, if you see, look at the thumbnail, you see Donald Trump mad with a bat that he wanted to hit the district attorney. Yeah, I say, wow, this is crazy. But I think he was more or less might have been teasing it. And I hope he was anyway. But give me your thoughts. Do you think he should go to jail for lying about Stormy Daniels? Um, Having it, uh, even if it wasn't an affair, because he kept saying he didn't have an affair with her, but it was something. Even if it was a one night stand, and y'all went back and had that, she is saying y'all did have sex together. So it's not a crime. I guess what made it a crime is when he started lying about it. That's what's getting him in trouble. But now he's saying he's not going to jail behind what he did with her. And if they try to lock him up, that he asking for people to come and ride for him. And once you start riding, then you got police officers. So basically, you're saying go against the police officers, do what you got to do. And I think that's awful. I hope people don't go up there trying to ride for him because he's not going to do it for you. He's definitely not going to do it for you. If he would throw his own lawyer up under the bus, he'll throw you up under the bus. Um, and they were friends, but his lawyer, he had to go to court behind this same situation that they're fighting for Trump to go to jail behind. So we'll see if they lock him up. All right, this ends it. Have a great day. Leave your comments. Let me know what you think. I definitely appreciate it. Uh, I enjoy reading y'all comments. Y'all make me smile, and I need that. So definitely leave a comment. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to my channel. I would love to have you. Um, and put on the notification so that you will know whenever I upload a video. All right, have a great day.